Tirëlat në hosjeza, Tirëlat në hosjeza, Tirëlat në hos miri Tirëlat, Tirëlat në hosjeza, Jutat Rubai.
Around November of 1998, I was trying to come up with a design for a new language to take the place of Jarda in its role as a personal language. Jarda was reasonably successful at that point, but I was already starting to associate it with non-human speakers living on distant worlds. So I started coming up with ideas for new languages. The first of these that I started developing was called Tirëlat, but I didn't get very far with that one before I decided to go in a different direction. On April 17, 1999, I introduced a new language called Tirëlat. Already, just looking at the consonants and vowels in this early version of the language, you can see some of the distinctive features of the language, such as the voiceless trill and the voiceless lateral fricative. For comparison, I've added the current sounds of Tirëlat in blue. The affricates, the velar nasal, and the approximants are new, and some of the other sounds have moved around a bit, but most of the other sounds are roughly the same. The vocabulary of early Tirëlat is still mostly recognizable, as you can see by comparing with the modern words in blue on the left. Even the basic grammar is roughly similar, with the biggest differences in the verb inflections. I'll be including a modern Tirëlat translation in blue from here on, so that you can see how the language has changed over the years. I'll start with a few translations of The Quick Brown Fox Jumps Over the Lazy Dog. This version from May 1999 goes something like this. Setiski marvigil rastal malako slivijeg. Here's a recording from July 1999, with a different word order and some changed sounds.
Sigil marvitiski khastal mlaka rujal livi.
And here's a version that I recorded in January 2001.
Setiski marvigil khastalan mlaka livi rujal.
A modern translation might go something like this. Sutiski marvigil yakrastan balaku livi jech. A common pattern in the history of Tirëlat, especially in the early years, is that I would experiment with the sounds and rules of the language, trying out various changes. A few of the changes might stick around, but most changes didn't last long, and reverted to an earlier version. For example, the velar nasal and the approximants in this consonant inventory from June 1999 are still in the current version of the language, but the palatal stop and the uvular sounds are long gone. Here's a list comparing some words from the 1999 version of Tirëlat to their modern equivalents. As you can see, the sound changes are not all regular, but they're not totally haphazard either. In September 1999, I added two highly unusual sounds, a voiced and a voiceless fricative trill. The voiced fricative trill was found in words like barji, which is barji in modern Tirëlat, and reva, which is pronounced reva these days. The voiceless fricative trill sounded like garshi and randi, which are garshi and randi in the modern language. With all these changes, I decided that I needed a stable version of the language to refer back to, so I created Tirëlat. It wasn't exactly a new language, but really more like a standardized branch of the language as it existed in early 2001. In this comparison of text from The Legend of Dorothy, you can see how much of the Tirëlat text on the left is still recognizable in the modern Tirëlat translation in blue on the right. In June 2001, I took part in my first conlang relay with Tirëlat. The goal of a conlang relay is to take a text that someone else provides in their language, translate it into your own language, and pass it on to the next participant in the relay within 48 hours. Over the years, I participated in 7 more relays with different versions of Tirëlat. Here's some examples.
Ispatahwan mi naimik vidu min metafal. Yitullan si limik vidu zatadri mik vidu. Si ravi mik vidu yitullan se lima radeke. Ispatiskini yravitlan virizi uriva.
Irabnunda vizruktin suguva shlim tlakavun. Vairom sai ngai kazil vibuna mi favari. Sai zarvi chik venyauhan mai hinji slashpa. Mizoi sirel garkatuli yekagajan mi ravunu rikifata min bineri. Chazik mirishiru kaval pasai ngai vit yezikitakan vividesa. Debi yertyandi tikan sirishiru barakaziat. Saitadrujar nivelada kaslas, vivistica desnake. Sangaya vivelna yalmanauka haurom. Chavamatsa orom, sikitimu rabijan. Varom vinamades la di kritik. Sangaya veladaslas pavikariden tivimuspiden zaitzik. In 2013, the game Hatsune Miku Project Diva F introduced me to the idea of virtual singers like Vocaloid and Utao. I've used MIDI editors to make music before, so I thought it would be fun to try making songs with Utao. It took a while to record all the beginnings and ends of syllables in Tirëlat and learn how to set up the samples in Utao, but in the end it turned out sounding pretty good. I went on to make a total of 6 Tirëlat songs with Utao, including one that was an original song written in Tirëlat, Khoidarugi Urom. Then I learned about a new Vocaloid, Micah, who was introduced in December 2013. Micah was designed to sing in Spanish, but she has a number of extra phonemes, almost enough to sing in Tirëlat. There's only 2 sounds that don't have good substitutes, the voiceless trill and the voiceless lateral fricative, or so I thought, until I discovered how to make sounds voiceless by adding _0. So I decided to give Micah a try, and I was really pleased with the results. In recent years, I've developed techniques for English and Japanese Vocaloids to sing in Tirëlat, and I've translated dozens of songs. I've even written a few original songs in Tirëlat. By any standard, I'd have to consider Tirëlat as my most successful language. Here's to many more years of lateral fricatives and voiceless trills.